What's happening, boxing fans? It's Rodney De La Paz. So, it is May 4th. I don't think the boxing dust has settled just yet after the Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao fight. I think the boxing world has been left scratching their heads, wondering what in the world happened this past Saturday. So if you did have the chance to review and watch my commentary on the pre-fight analysis, unfortunately my prediction was correct in the sense that I knew that Mayweather was going to accomplish exactly the strategy that he needed to employ, and hats off to him. I mean, I just have to wonder, was he better off not taking the fight? I mean, it seems like to me he took the fight really to get paid. You know, which is, I'm sure, very, very disappointing to a lot of boxing fans, to a lot of Manny Pacquiao fans especially, and maybe even to a lot of Floyd fans. You know, I can't hate on Mayweather because he was just acting the way he normally fights. I mean, he just think about it. He did exactly what he needed to do in order to beat Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is a volume puncher, and volume punchers need a target in order to be effective. So why in the world would Floyd Mayweather give him a target? Why? Why do that? And as you saw, he actually was rocked. Manny Pacquiao rocked Mayweather to the point where Mayweather had to sink back onto the ropes and sat there stunned. He actually got caught with a counter punch. He was surprised. He didn't even see that coming. But what did he do? His fight or flight response showed. When all of the other past champions who went against Manny Pacquiao, what did they do? Fight or flight? They fought. They stood there, and if they had to take the brunt, the punishment, they stood there, absorbed as much as they could, and they could not go through it. But Floyd Mayweather, his fight or flight response, what did he do? He took the flight path. He said, you know what? I'm too smart for this. I'm not going to sit there and fight this thing out. I'm going to not get hit. How can we really hate someone for just being and doing what they were meant to do? So we now all know, is he a fight or a flight person? I mean, I think the answer is very obvious for that. And here's another thing to think about. Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko, okay, all these big guys, they're in the business to use their jab, keep their opponents well away from them, and stay on the outside. Now, how many of you out there loved watching Lennox Lewis? Loved watching Vladimir Klitschko? Okay? Ask yourself that. Be honest. Majority of people out there, most boxing fans, okay? I'm not saying the die-hard boxing fans, but majority of boxing fans didn't like that kind of style because it's not engaging. But as much as you guys probably hated watching Lennox Lewis, hate watching Vladimir Klitschko because what do you guys think? It's boring. But that's what these big guys do. They stay on the outside. They hit their jab when their opponent comes in because that's what they have to do. What do? They jam them up. They tie them up. What's any different than what Mayweather did? See, Mayweather's 5'8", fighting a 5'6" Manny Pacquiao. He had to fight like a big man. He had to. Because obviously if he and he said it himself after the fight, if he just stood there taking the flurries, that's when Manny Pacquiao shined the most. And that's when he got hit. So why would he do that? Come on. I mean, so can we hate him for doing exactly what he needed to do? I guess so. I guess everyone is really hating on him. But how else can he win? And that, I think, is the most frustrating part of it all, because we wanted to see a battle, we wanted to see blood, we wanted to see guts, and we wanted to see everything left out on this final stage. I mean, this is like at the height, at the very zenith of their career, right? Especially the fact that they're probably ending their career. This is the fight that we've all been waiting for, only to just kind of fizzle out. And wow, everyone dropped so much money. So honestly, before we hate on Floyd Mayweather Jr., we have to ask ourselves, are we more pissed off at ourselves for dropping all this money for that? I think that's the thing. And seriously, hindsight being 2020, I think Floyd Mayweather Jr., I mean, despite the $100 million that he's going to be collecting, okay, more than that, he's going to have to wake up every single day wondering, like, why is he getting this much heat? And he was the one who won the match. Manny Pacquiao, yes, he might have lost in the ring, but he gained everything. He still has a ton of fans. I think Vegas that night was a Manny Pacquiao house. And it's really, I kind of feel bad for Mayweather. But being a boxing enthusiast and knowing what he really accomplished in the ring, which was not easy, it's a shame that he's not going to be recognized for the technical aspect of his game that night. People wanted to see more heart and not necessarily a strategy, a calculated strategy, and that's exactly what he showed. He's the number one in the business. He knows how to win. He knows not to lose. But is that the way to gain respect? I guess not. So for me, am I disappointed? Yes. I thought Manny Pacquiao was onto something when we saw him rock Mayweather against the ropes like that. I thought he was onto something. But ultimately, Floyd Mayweather's fight or flight response, he took the flight way. And that's when it kind of went downhill. He knew he had to stay away, snap the jab, jam him up, and clinch. Manny Pacquiao didn't do those things. Manny Pacquiao wasn't effective as far as hitting, throwing jabs. He couldn't do it. He couldn't connect to Mayweather. So as much as Manny Pacquiao was frustrated that he had to try to go and get it and try to chase Floyd, boxing fans were even more frustrated. So kind of enjoy all of the hate posts out there. Enjoy all of the videos, the Mike Tyson knockout, Nintendo. I saw this one post on Facebook. Look for it. It's hilarious. But what stinks is that Floyd is, man, I would hate to be Floyd right now. You know, I would love to be Floyd right now as far as the money is concerned, but as far as questioning the kind of fighter and the kind of man that he is, I think Mayweather's got a tough road ahead. Even diehard boxing fans, his colleagues, they probably congratulate him and say, "Hey, nice job, Floyd. You know, oh, don't worry about all the haters out there." But I know for sure, even his colleagues are like, "Man, I wouldn't want to be Floyd right now." So, anyway, I guess we're going to be in search for new quality people out there. I sure hope boxing is not dead. I do see people out there posting that kind of stuff, but I'm going to continue to search, continue to do analysis on boxing talent out there. So I shall talk to you guys soon. Enjoy, chime in, and have an awesome day.